AgEagle, but you may know it better as the company that trades under ticker symbol UAVS. It's got a share price of $3.29. Is that way too much for you to be paying for this stock right now? Or are you getting the deal of a lifetime? In this video, I'm going to be showing you the connection between UAVS and Amazon that I found over the last few days, but no one else is talking about yet. I'm also going to show you how the company's current valuation fares against the competitors. And we're going to be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your wealth through investing and trading stocks in the market, make sure you start right now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss a thing. I'll see you in the video. Let's go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, we will be discussing a company that goes by the name of AgEagle and trades under the ticker symbol UAVS. This company has been getting a lot of hype and a lot of attention all over social media, all over the news. Well, what's going on with this company? Today, we're going to be addressing just that. So the hype around this company seems to be related to rumors about a possible partnership and maybe even a buyout. But what makes this news really exciting relates to who the rumors are actually about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would be no other than the one and only Amazon.com. But before we can go any further, I can tell you that I did find a connection between the two companies. And unlike the rumors that you're probably used to and have previously been exposed to, this is something that I can actually show you and tell you exactly where to find. Now, I'm not psychic, but I already know that all of you are going to be wanting to know this information. So I will be providing it to you later on in the video, but before you go rushing into buying this stock, you need to watch this entire video, as I will be covering a lot of information that's relevant to the company's share value. Additionally, this company does come with some big risks, and you definitely need to know what those are before you even think about buying in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, but we're going to start with clearing up all of the rumors that have been going around. And once we get past all of the hype, you'll have a very clear picture of what the company is worth and about how much you should be paying for each share. So without any further ado, let's get started. We all know that the past doesn't necessarily have to define our future. However, we do often rely heavily on events and data from the past in an attempt to forecast the future. This is actually exactly what we do when we are relying on technical analysis. We study historical price action in order to determine or attempt to forecast future price action, which essentially means to us where the stock will go. So the diagram on your left shows you exactly how much money you would have today had you invested $10,000 in UAVS 10 years ago. As you can see, your $10,000 investment would have been turned into less than 1/3 of what you had initially put in. That's definitely not something that we like to see, but this is the reality of investing in penny stocks or small companies that have not yet proven themselves. On the right-hand side, you'll see that in 2018, UAVS went through a reverse stock split. It was a 1-for-25 reverse split. And what this means is that for every 25 shares of UAVS that you owned prior to the split, you would now only own 1 share. So to give you a quick example of how this works, if UAVS shares were at the time trading for $1, and let's say you had 25 shares in your trading account, well, after the split, you would have one share that's worth $25 rather than 25 shares worth $1 each, which totaled $25. So essentially, your shares aren't losing any value. It's just that the number of shares or the quantity is updated. Now, what I wanted to point out with this reverse split is that after this reverse split occurred, UAVS was obviously no longer a penny stock. However, just a few months later, it was back in Pennyland. And the reason I point this out, not that it's any indicator of what will happen in the future, as we mentioned before, but I'm pointing this out because I want you to be aware of the risks of investing in a penny stock. And as of now, this is still a penny stock. So let's take a quick look at the timeline of significant events from 2019 and 2020, which will help you understand how the Amazon hype all started. So in September of 2019, AgEagle announces their expansion into freight delivery. They also announced that they had their first orders for the delivery drones, which we will get into later. June 5th of 2019, Amazon happens to unveil their latest Prime Air delivery drone design, and this was at the March conference. On April 15th of 2020, it was announced that an additional purchase order for commercial drones for package deliveries took place. April 25th of 2020, we've got the Morgan Chilcot video leaked. We've got a share offering for $6 million on April 27th, 2020, with a proposed maximum offering price of 58 cents per security. On April 30th, 2020 is when the conference call was held, in which it was announced that the CEO was stepping down, and it was also announced that the company would be moving or relocating to Wichita. On May 12th, 2020, we've got another $6 million offering at $1.06 per share. And July 9th, 2020, we've got a PR about the move to Wichita. Then July 25th, 2020, we've got a $7 million offering at $1.35. If you'll recall AgEagle's announcement in September of 2019, this is when they announced their expansion into freight delivery and their first order to manufacture and assemble UAVs designed to meet the critical specifications of drones that are meant to carry packaged goods in suburban and urban areas. Now, take a look at the chart on the right. The columns from left to right represent the stock's open, high of day, low of day, and closing price for each corresponding date. As you can see, the announcement did not have much of an effect at all on the share price. In fact, the price remained fairly consistent throughout the entire month of September. On June 5th, 2019, Amazon unveils its latest Prime Air delivery drone design at the March conference. At this time, there were no rumors, there was no hype whatsoever going around suggesting that Amazon and AgEagle were working together. From what I was able to find, these rumors began to form around April of 2020, when some analysts suggested that the two companies would make a great team after they found out that both AgEagle and Amazon were going to start operations in Wichita. It seems that from there, pumpers on social media platforms such as StockTwits and Twitter had a field day with this news. From there, a bunch of blogs and websites picked up the rumors and actually credited people on Twitter, Reddit, and StockTwits. I'm not very clear as to why local news channels in Kansas chose to further give these rumors life, but they did, which gave pumpers more fuel, and so the hype continued. So the rumor really took off when the announcement on April 15th, 2020 was made, which pertained to additional follow-on orders for commercial drones for package deliveries. And that's when we actually saw a big move from the stock, which I'm about to show you in just a second. But the rumor that was going around basically suggested that UAVS was designing, manufacturing, and testing drones for Amazon. So what I'd like to point out right now is that according to Amazon, and that's what you can see on your screen right now, they invented their own drones and proprietary technology in-house. And by they, let me be very clear by this, I am talking about Amazon and not AgEagle. So I've been exposed to all sorts of arguments and theories about this on social media, and I can tell you that they make absolutely no sense at all to me. Half of these theories are spread by the same influencers that are pumping the stock, and they had the crowd follow and purchase based on their word. So now we have a lot of bag holders that are repeating the same stuff that these pumpers are pumping because they don't know any better, and of course they're wanting to make money. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am an expert on drone technology because I'm not. In fact, all that I really know about drones and drone technology comes from the research that I have been doing on this video, or for this video. But based on not only my research, but also on common sense, I can tell you that the technology that Amazon has is light years ahead of what AgEagle is working with. Number one, think about it logically. Amazon has essentially unlimited resources to devote to this, and they are, in my opinion, one of the handful of companies that could literally take over the world. Number two, let's not forget, AgEagle's primary focus and expertise began in agriculture, as the company name implies. Number three, as you will learn later on in this video, AgEagle bought their business model and all of their know-how in a deal that took place in 2018. They literally just entered the drone delivery market in September of 2019 when they announced that they got orders for delivery drones from a major e-commerce company. Now, of course, we have more information about this client, which we will get into later on, but first, let's wrap this up. So, Amazon began testing their own delivery drones in December of 2016, which means they are 3 years ahead with better technology and unlimited resources. Now, Amazon also owns its own drone division and designs and builds its own drones in-house. Furthermore, Amazon owns patents for all of its own proprietary software. One of the last things that I want to point out is that Amazon is expanding its operations. The company literally has locations almost everywhere and is constantly looking for new locations to open a warehouse. My point is that just because Amazon is setting up a new location in Wichita does not mean that they are locating there in order to work with AgEagle. In fact, I would argue that no matter where in the United States AgEagle would choose to relocate, they'd have a pretty hard time avoiding Amazon, as Amazon's presence is prominent in the United States. And for those of you who are still having a hard time processing this, or maybe in denial, check out this short clip which was on the news just recently and pay close attention to what is said.
Into our newsroom tonight, a company that builds agricultural drones is relocating to Wichita with plans to expand. The city of Wichita says AgEagle Aerial Systems will move its operations from Neodesha to Wichita. AgEagle considered other locations, but the Greater Wichita Partnership and other local stakeholders offered financial incentives to bring the company to their capital. AgEagle CEO says it's a perfect fit.
Incredibly impressed with Wichita as a city. It's got great innovation. It's a great place to live, obviously, and a great business climate. So, in the end, we walked away going, this truly is the air capital of the world for us.
company is close to finalizing a location and announcing a timeline for the big move.
So in case you're wondering what you're looking at, right now this is AgEagle's current headquarters. The company only has 10 employees and only 4 of them are full-time. Now, I do realize that everyone has to start somewhere, but do you really think that Amazon has any need to partner with a company this small? What you see on your screen right now is a 1-hour chart from April 15th, 2020. This was the day that the additional orders from the major e-commerce company were announced, and also when all of the hype officially started. Now, as you can clearly see, the share price more than tripled in value, and then the stock was dumped, not even 2 days later. Which brings me to my next point, which is to let everybody know exactly how risky trading these stocks or investing in these penny stocks can be. And you should never listen to anyone on social media, or anyone for that matter, that's trying to pump up a stock or hype up a stock or tell you just how good or wonderful a stock is. You should always do your own research and use common sense. If it doesn't sound right, it probably isn't true. Some of the most compelling evidence to me, which shows that there would not be a significant relationship between AgEagle and Amazon, is the simple fact that the company diluted shares with offerings for millions of dollars and essentially gave the shares away. The first offering involved warrants and shares which would be priced at $1.06, and during the second offering, the shares were priced at $1.35. So let's slow down and think about this for just 1 minute. If I'm the CEO of some little rinky-dink company and I know that I'm about to announce a deal with Amazon, do you really think I'm gonna be trying to sell shares for less than what they're currently trading for? Not a very good chance of me doing that. And number 2, look at how cheap those shares were sold for. Okay? I mean, pretty much nothing if you're expecting a deal with Amazon. And if they did get that deal with Amazon, you're talking about a significantly higher share price. So obviously, the CEO was not expecting anything significant to happen. And to be quite honest, I believe that all of this hype was the significant event, the catalyst that this company was waiting for in order to sell these shares at an increased price. And let me show you why I believe that. Do you remember the S3 form filed on April 27, 2020? Recall that the price was going to be 58 cents. In these later offerings, the average price was around $1.20, which means they got double on the hype. Now, that's pretty good motivation if you ask me. So, on April 30th, 2020, there was a conference call held. This is where everyone was expecting to get the wonderful news about this Amazon partnership with AgEagle. But what actually happened? Well, let's start with Morgan Chilcot. She's the former CEO's daughter, and apparently there was a video that was leaked from her personal website, which was later on deleted. And in this video, or should I say at the very beginning of this video, you could see the following 2 logos appear on the screen, which is AgEagle and Amazon, which would make every normal person believe that there was some type of deal going on. Now, the video was just an unpackaging video showing some men unpackaging one of these drones. And as you can see on your screen right now, people on social media were not happy. because they were stuck in the stock and the price had gone down significantly, which I'm about to show you. So what you're looking at on your screen right now is the price action for the stock on the 30th of April, which is the day of the conference call when everybody was expecting that Amazon news. And what you're seeing is the price go from 80 something cents all the way to $5.15 all in one day, and then a big dump closer towards the end of the day where the share price was now around $1.40, which could be very problematic for most people that are, buying in with their life savings and pretty much just buying in on the word of others that they're listening to on a social media platform. And of course, who is behind all this or responsible for this? Well, partially, I would say the former CEO's daughter for leaking that video. So, what exactly did happen at that actual conference call? So, number one, everybody was expecting Amazon news, as you were already aware. Unfortunately for everyone that was holding the stock at the time, what they were expecting to receive is not at all what they got. The contents of the call consisted of several things. Among those were the fact that the company is relocating to Wichita. Also, the former CEO, the one whose daughter decided to leak the video, he stepped down. As you can already probably guess, there was no news about Amazon whatsoever. There was no news about an Amazon partnership with AgEagle. There was nothing of that nature on this call. And as you can imagine, the result was a bloodbath. And there's probably a lot of you thinking, well, I'm going to set a stop loss, or I'm going to get out, I can do this. Well, let me tell you that that's not going to work. So what happened in this particular situation is that the people that were holding the stock, the reason they became bag holders is because the stock was halted. When a stock does get halted, it means that your stop loss will not get triggered. So what happens is when the stock becomes tradable again, your stop loss will then become activated and it will then execute a market sell, meaning you're going to sell for a lot less than you intended to. Or you don't have to sell at all. You can continue holding the stock in hopes of the share price going back up. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I would refer to as a typical pump and dump. Now, if you've never seen one of these before, keep an eye out for it. This particular stock, UAVS, is infamous for pump and dumps. And that's not saying that the stock doesn't have a future or that the company's technology is no good or that their drones are no good. It just means that there are people that are pumping and dumping the stock. Now, whether or not the company is actually involved, we don't know. They could be involved on several different levels or not at all. They could be involved to the extent of maybe having knowledge about it and not doing anything to protect the shareholders, or they could be involved in a manner of where they're hiring promoters to pump the stock. You never know. I, at this time, don't know and really don't care, as it's not relevant to me. The only thing that's actually important is to know what this stock is and what it's been doing, and to be aware of it so that you don't fall for the trap next time it happens. Okay, so very quickly, let me tell you guys that there are still a couple of things that I need to go over in this video that I consider to be very important, but I wanted to go ahead and give you guys the information that you were wanting, that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, which would be the connection between AgEagle and Amazon.com. So what you're looking at on your screen right now is the AWS marketplace. And this is how Amazon and AgEagle are connected. So it would appear that AgEagle is selling its services through Amazon and collecting a monthly subscription fee. For those of you not familiar with it, AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. And apparently, if you kept up with the company, because I don't think I mentioned it in this video, but AgEagle does offer subscription-based services where they rent their drones. So I realized this may not have been exactly what you were expecting when I told you guys that there was that connection, but nonetheless, this is a connection or a partnership between Amazon and AgEagle. But mainly, I told you guys that and wanted you to wait towards the end of the video so that you would actually watch the video and understand the risks that are involved when you're following other people's calls on social media and when you're dealing with penny stocks or just really small companies. So I hope that you guys, learned something from this. And like I said, I still have a little bit more to cover. So let me go ahead and do that real quick, and then you guys can be on your way. So I'm going to try to go through this info as quickly as possible. Feel free to pause if you need to and just take a look at the screen as all the information is on there. But basically, the first slide, we're going to be talking about the Argibotix acquisition that occurred in July of 2018. So UAVS acquired all rights, title, and interest in and to all assets owned by the seller, utilized in the seller's business of providing integrated agricultural drone solutions and drone-enabled software technologies and services for precision agriculture, except for certain excluded assets to set forth in the purchase agreement. At closing, the company assumed certain liabilities under various third-party contracts pursuant to the terms of the purchase agreement. The company's current business is mostly based on the business model of Agribotix. Current valuation of UAVS should be closely correlated to the value paid for Agribotix. Agribotix was purchased for $4 million. The purchase consisted of $1 million in cash and $3 million in stock. The goodwill valued at $3.2 million. The goodwill represented 73% of the total amount of assets according to the last quarterly report, which is indicative of the business model acquired from Agribotix being relevant for UAVS. So Agribotix had a revenue of $0.314 million in 2018. In 2019, UAVS had sales of $0.296 million, meaning the acquired Agribotix business model represented most relevant sources of revenue. The current market cap is now more than $120 million. In 2018, UAVS paid $4 million for Agribotix, suggesting a rate of return of 2,900% in just 2 years, which such rate of return is not justifiable and makes UAVS highly overvalued. So UAVS only has one customer. Reported only one customer in the quarter ended March 2020, which is customer A, which was responsible for more than 95.6% of the total amount of sales. Customer A is the major e-commerce company that UAVS announced securing a deal with that everybody mistook for Amazon. Now, this makes UAVS highly risky, as losing this customer would mean that UAVS pretty much loses everything. Now, the current valuation and risks. For the current valuation, I came up with 130 to 150 million. Assuming that 2021 sales growth of 100%, UAVS trades at 8.2 times to 9.3 times the 2021 sales. Other related companies trade at 1.2 to 5.6 times 2021 sales, which suggests that UAVS is not a good investment at this price, given the risks involved with having only one client, in addition to being highly overvalued, this is a high-risk company to invest in at this time, in my opinion. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Congratulations on making it to the very end of the video. I'm proud of you. I know you're proud of yourself, and I know you're ready to go, so I'm not going to hold you up any longer. All I ask is that you please smash that thumbs up button for me if you enjoyed the content or if you found it useful. Even if you didn't, I really don't care. Just still smash that thumbs up button, okay? Now, if you're already subscribed, good job. If not, ask yourself why. Because I bring you content like this on a daily basis. So make sure you don't miss any of it. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get your daily notifications when I publish my videos daily. Alright, have a good day, a good night, a good morning. I don't know what time you guys are watching this, but whatever it is, have a good one. And I will see you guys in the next video.